Welcome to the Property Premier League, the weekly podcast where property meets Premier League football. I'm your host, Chris Mervyn, and joining me are my co-hosts, Steve Green and Jamie Aspland. Each week, we'll dive into the world of property and football from the unique perspective of professionals who live and breathe both. As die-hard fans of Spurs, Palace and Everton, we know a thing or two about the highs and lows that come with both the beautiful game and the property market. And whether it's the thrill of a last-minute goal, I wish, or the challenges of a market shift, we've got the stories, insights and banter to keep you entertained. So if you're passionate about property, Premier League football or both, you're in the right place. Get ready for your weekly dose of all things property and football with the Property Premier League. Let's kick off. Good morning, guys. How are we? I'm trying to sound upbeat after another humiliating defeat from my not so mighty Spurs. And you two seem to be a little bit more chipper with your football results. So there we go. How are we? We good?
Yeah, I'm all right. We won, so I'll take that. Don't know how, but we won.
Jay?
I'm all good this end. Bit raw because it was only last night as we record this on Tuesday morning. So a bit raw, but yeah, I'm all right, mate. Thank you.
Oh, goodness me. Let's have a go. We'll jump straight into the results, shall we? And go from there. It's probably best. Okay, let me add this to stage. So, when we recorded last week, we had the Wolves and Arsenal match as well, didn't we, to play? So, just put that on here as well. So, Wolves, firstly, what a great result for Wolves. It doesn't do anything for the season, I don't think, but 2-2 against Arsenal and a lot of wobbles there. And we'll talk about the Arsenal-Spurs match in a minute. But just watching them, I thought, yes, it was away from home. They were playing Wolves at home, but they were showing signs of being a little bit wobbly, shall we say.
I think Wolves, for me, it's about how you start your championship season.
Yeah.
If you get battered every game and you go to championship, it doesn't look good. But for Rob, whatever his name is, in there, and you start getting results like that, he's in there saying, look, this season's done, but believe in yourself. We're going to go straight back up. This is a start of next season for him.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And they played all right. But I think Rob Edwards has come in. They got some pretty hard ground out draws out of that. Like, you wouldn't have thought they'd get a 2-2 draw from Arsenal at home. So they probably are set up well. It depends who leaves, doesn't it? It depends who they lose. And they probably lose that Marley on the wing because he's fairly decent, although I'm not sure he knows what his legs are going to do from one match to the next sometimes. But he's a decent player. But
welcome
Arsenal,
to
I'll probably take him over Brennan Johnson, to be honest.
Arsenal,
up until Arsenal Spurs, I was like, oh, they're beginning to bottle it. But obviously they've had a meeting and clear the air talks, and let's not bottle it, boys.
Not again. Let's try and get one match out of the way. Saturday saw quite a lot of results. We'll start with I think it was Villa. Was it Villa's Leeds the first match? Or was one Villa playing Leeds. A lot of draws, crikey. But
and you
Leeds
take
away.
The out of me.
All right. Can I see 2-2? Oh yes, there was a 2-2 on Wednesday. Obviously, Wolves, Arsenal. Villa 1, Leeds 1. Good result for Leeds. Really, another point for them just to pull them away, and considering it was away from home as well, where they had a string of bad results away from home. I think they did okay. And Villa, they needed to get that point, really, didn't they, just to keep them in. It's going to be tough at the top, I think, when we look at the league in a minute. I think it will, Liverpool have got a run of good games as well, including Spurs. So we'll see what happens, but that was interesting. And then we had a result I didn't see coming, certainly. Brighton away at Brentford, and Brighton win 2-0.
How did that happen? How did they bloody win 2-0? I was enjoying the pressure on their manager and their team and their fans kicking off and all over social media going, get rid of him. It was lovely, particularly after we won 1-0, which I don't think I was on the podcast after we won 1-0.
No, you weren't.
Let's just rewind to that. Get in! Take that, you Tesco bag wearing son of a dog. There you go.
Little wins.
Little wins.
But Brentford at home, not to score. Bit of a lame performance, really. I mean, they have been a little bit inconsistent. But they have had a run of good results recently. So
they don't want Europe.
That could possibly be it. I mean,
they don't want Europe.
Poison chalice, isn't it? If you do really too well, and then you've got to really invest in the squad, and you only have to look at my team, I suppose, where you get a run of injuries, and Forest as well. You can't compete. You just can't compete in the league then because it's such a competitive league. Hey, and Palace.
Hello. we can't even beat a Bosnian Premier League side.
Well,
you don't want Europe. You really don't want Europe. Waste of time.
Not the bottom tier of Europe, anyway, for definite.
well,
No.
it's
Cheers,
all rather than a money reason, isn't it, end of the day? Because obviously, if you're the owner of the club, you want them to go into Europe because you're going to get more money. But yeah, it's not good. And then we had Chelsea 1, Burnley 1. Pretty good result that for Burnley, and Chelsea dropping points there. Really, they should be pushed on. I think. Disappointing. West Ham 0, Bournemouth 0. Sorry, mate. Go back.
I was just saying about Chelsea fans and Rosenior. They just don't like him, do they? And it's not actually a playing style, it's the way that he looks. I'm finding, like, his glasses and saying he looks like a professor. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, he's actually done all right. He's eight wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. You know, what's the win ratio out of that?
Oh,
You know,
God.
but they're all kicking off. Oh, it's not Chelsea. It's like West Ham. They don't play the West Ham way. And like at the end of the day, he's probably done better in his first 10, 12 games than other Chelsea matches. So
Yeah, as an outsider, I like him.
I think top 6 is what the 6 is now, and I think that 5 will get Champions League the way the English teams are going. So it's only a battle for them, and Chelsea are right in the mix of that. To be fair,
and that's probably their level. They are probably a 5th place side. That's probably where they sit. You know, the Abramovich days are over.
I think we said at the start of the season, actually, with regards to Chelsea, that actually this season was, again, a building one. And next season was a season where they should be pushing on because they've got the quality there. They've had, obviously, injuries
300
as well.
players.
Yeah, they've got 9 million players, like you said. But Palmer was injured for a big amount of the games recently, and he's back. And he's not, well, I think is he back fully fit now? I don't know what exactly was his problem, but managing it. So I think he's a big miss. It's one of those players where they just make the difference. Even if the team's playing rubbish, they can just do something like a Kane or something like that. You know, it happens, and that we'll see. But good point for Burnley. Well, we'll look at the league in a minute. I know I can cry and Puma pants. West Ham 0.
That's the Man City sponsor, mate.
Puma pants.
That's age.
Oh dear. West Ham 0, Bournemouth 0. Bloody hell. Anyway, they got points which they need. West Ham. Move along. Man City getting a result against Newcastle. I didn't see any of the highlights for this match in particular. Did you guys? Did you see any good value?
Rico Lewis is insane. He will be in the England team.
Yeah,
trust me.
I've
never known a kid that age that doesn't play for Man City, which I know when you're a left back, you play in centre midfield and attacking midfield for Man City, or right backs. That's just the way they've always done it. But he played number 10 and he was brilliant. He plays left back. He's good. They're insane. But I know at England, we're more rigid in the formation we play, and that's where some youngsters miss out. Because when you play for Man City, you basically are on the attack, aren't you? So you play from left back to centre forward, no matter where you go. If the ball's not on your side, you basically become a middle of midfielder, and the midfielder then pushes forward. I get it, but insanely good for a youngster. Yeah,
I think a squad player in particular, to get him in there, because you fill a few positions, can't they? I think he's a good option, definitely. And that was on a Saturday, and then Sunday we had the debacle of matches. We'll go Palace.
Start with yours, mate. From the
start
bottom
with mine. Oh, okay, mate. We'll do that then. Spurs 1, Arsenal 4. One of those games where I didn't even think we were going to win it. Certainly didn't think we were going to win it at all. I wanted to see a bit more of a reaction to the new manager coming in, and players just play with a bit of fight, really, I think. And I think that came across. First half was actually, we were competing. I thought we were okay. We were nowhere near the same quality regards to them, and they were obviously making a few mistakes. But I think that in the first half, it was a fair result. Saliba, come on, Saliba. That should have been a goal.
That's the sliding doors moment. 2-2 is different to going back there, and that is the horrible thing about football. That is a sliding doors moment, and you should. I feel his hands on the back, but he's overemphasised it. You've seen goals given like that, and 2-2. you don't know you're back on the front foot or you're on the ascendancy and you don't know what might have happened. But disallowing that is obviously a game changer for me.
Yeah, and you've had loads of different instances. I don't believe in conspiracy theory or anything like that, but at the same point, it's just poor. It's just poor, and I mean, just if you've got VAR there, just call it and let VAR decide afterwards, I guess. And that's the hope. I just don't get it. What do you think, Steve? Do you see it, Saliba?
I didn't see it. No, I didn't watch the game. To be fair, I saw it.
He was taken out by a sniper on the hill. I think.
Oh, really?
He was actually shot. Yeah, it was a push, two hands, but he reacted after the push and did a sort of swan dive.
Okay.
And yeah, like Jay just said, it could have changed the complexion. I don't think we would have won still. I think we would have just hung on maybe. But who knows? It would have tested Arsenal's reserve a little bit more. Second half, all over us. Better squad. They've got a squad, and their bench is much better than any other teams. They're the best. They're the best squad in the league, I think now, and they should win. But I did see signs, and I think that if they're put under pressure, and we're not the team to do that, I think that there's tough things to go. We look at the matches coming up anyway. I think they've got Chelsea next, so that'll be interesting.
The game will be City Arsenal.
Yeah,
whoever wins that could go on and win the league. But what's it with Eze and Spurs? He just seems to love scoring against Spurs.
But he doesn't play enough. I don't understand it. If I was him, I'd be disappointed.
We give him space. That's the problem. And we just haven't got the legs go, and we haven't got the players to come on to refresh it. And he is a good player. And he does raise his game against us. So maybe it's because he's had a lot of hate from Spurs fans for moving to Arsenal, which, well, it's going to be like that, isn't it? Because of the way it was done. But there's no denying he's got the skill and quality. But if he moved to Arsenal to get into the England team, he ain't getting an England team. So
no, he's not. He's definitely not. But people were calling him a passenger the other day. He was like non-existent. And, then he goes and scores 2 goals and plays an absolute volley against Spurs. But I think Palace fans got a little bit excited that he was going to come home, and I'm like, it's not going to happen, boys. Not until he's probably 32, 33 when he come home and be a different player. But yeah, it's a shame. I understand where he gets to go, but is he going to be on that plane to the States? I don't know.
I also think he's a Spurs player, Spurs type of player. He floats in and out. He's not consistent, and mate, I don't think Arteta likes that. That's why he's dropped.
He'd be massive at Spurs. You build a team around him and give him that number 10 role. He would be an absolute legend at Spurs. And the thing is, he went from a small pond to a big pond, and he's got lost. If he went kind of sideways, slightly up to Spurs from Palace, then he would have been dynamite.
Yeah, I just think he hasn't got the consistency of work ethic that Arteta likes. So it'd be interesting to see what happens to him moving forward. But he's done the business. He scored the goals.
Yeah.
When he's had the chance.
He could win 6 trophies in 12 months. If Arsenal did the quadruple with the 2 that you won at Palace, you could have 6 trophies in the bag.
You ain't leaving that alone, are you?
Did I mention we won the FA Cup and Charity Shield?
Once or twice, mate. Once or twice.
Yeah. I'm trying to.
This is the thing about football, though, isn't it? You just suddenly you forget about actually we had a good result a couple of weeks ago. You just remember the now, which it's not good.
The biggest thing is staying humble, as Glasner said. You just got to stay humble, Palace fans.
Well, let's move on to that in a minute. I'll park Spurs Arsenal with a passing comment. Passing comment is that I still think we'll be okay for relegation. I just think that if we were playing a mid-table team, if we're playing Fulham now, don't say anything, Jay, yet. If we were playing Fulham yet, the first match, and we had been competing, we would have got something out of it. I just think you're playing the best team in the league, who it's a derby as well at home where we've been crap all season.
You turn up for a derby though, Chris. You turn up.
I know we do.
You don't get rolled over.
I don't think we did. I think the second half we did, but I think that's to do with they were much better than us. They're on a better streak, and they've got better players. They're just better. You can't deny that. I think first half we did compete. There's been a lot of Spurs fans out there saying we were crap, and nothing's changed. What do you expect a guy to go in and do in 5 days?
Yeah,
Idiots.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you won't go down. I'm not going to lie. I love Spurs to go down because they're a big club, and it would be funny to see that stadium with Spurs versus Lincoln City next season. But
Lincoln got a good following, to be fair.
I don't think you'll go down. It'd just be hilarious to see on the fixture list Spurs versus Lincoln City. You won't go down, mate.
The only benefit of going down for any Spurs fan, and I have thought about it, is the fact that it's the club, it's ENIC losing the money, I guess, and it serves them right for not investing all these years ago. But I don't think anybody wins when clubs are demoted and relegated. I just don't mean
40 points will not be what will be needed this year. I think it'll be 38 points, 37, something like that. I don't think you'll need 40 points this year, so you'll be fine.
We shall see. We shall see. Sunderland 1, Fulham 3. Great result for Fulham, which bodes well for I suppose, his next game. But Sunderland, not doing anything.
Into slide, aren't they?
I think they've had a few little results, haven't they? I mean, obviously, Xhaka was out for a few of the games where they didn't do too well, came back. But I think they are showing signs of, perhaps squad depth as well in a very competitive league. I don't know.
Tigers.
Yeah, definitely. And then we had Forest 0, Liverpool 1. I just think Liverpool, we'll look at the league in a minute, are creeping and getting up there and getting the results in. It was a bit lucky, to be fair, but Forest, they needed something out of that. I can't say I'm sad they lost, being where Spurs are currently. But
I wanted to draw. I nearly got my wish.
I was the same as Chris. I didn't really want Liverpool to win it, but I certainly didn't want Forest to win it either. So I need to keep them locked down there. I'm still twitching a little bit.
Well, you were twitching less, mate, after you won 1-0 against Wolves, surely. Onto that one.
Yeah.
You watched the game.
Wow, they missed the penalty, mate. It's not as straightforward as that. I nearly messaged him straight away going, wow.
Yeah. It was a poor game. It was a really poor game. And then, they get that penalty. I'm thinking only Palace can go lose to Burnley and Wolves in a week. This is typical, rubbish European night. Everybody kicking off. Glasner saying what he said before the game, which was basically telling us to remember where we've come from, which to me, is unforgivable. Who the hell do you think you are? I'm really beginning to.
I read the words. But I didn't actually hear them. So was there anything lost in translation, or was it just purely meant the way it was actually received?
It basically meant, just remember what I've done for you, and you need to remember where we were. And I get that. Yeah, you won 2 trophies. However, don't be saying that to fans that in 2010 nearly lost their club to liquidation, that marched to Lloyd's Bank, and protested. And, we were that close. We sold all of our players, everything. We didn't even own our ground or our training stadium, whatever. It's to go and come out and say what he said. If you don't want to be there, go.
You don't want to be there. You don't want to be there.
Just go.
They're going to make him stay to the end of the season, aren't they? That's what I read.
That's the problem. He wants to get a cheap. He wants to get a cheap holiday before the school holidays, doesn't he? He wants to get sacked before the end of the season, but they aren't going to do that. They aren't.
He's only on £50 a week. Christ.
I know exactly. Me and Steve had this conversation on this podcast a month ago. It's Palace have come out and said no, he's staying to the end of the season. He's walking around like a sulky child, isn't he? Going like, no.
He's completely and utterly disrespecting us as fans.
Mate, you wait 2 games time, Dean Henderson will be up front. You know what I mean? He'll just
but take responsibility. Take responsibility for the fact you've won 2 in 16 games. Take responsibility. He turned around and said, I can't get a tune out of these players. Well, that's your job. Your job is to make it work. Your job is to find plays to unlock the opponent's defence and find it and give players confidence, etc. If I was a player now sat in the changing room thinking to myself, I care about the club and I care about the fans, but this bloke here don't give a toss about me. He's thinking about his next paycheck. But if I'm Jim Radcliffe, if I'm whoever, I'd be looking at him and go, do I want him in my club? And the thing is, I've said it before, I think on the podcast, he has form for doing this. The same thing happened at his previous club, Frankfurt. He didn't like the recruitment. He didn't like the lack of investment. Do your research. What are Palace? They will be a selling club until some Qatar, Dubai investor comes in and plows shed time like Man City got. That is what Palace are. That is our level. if you don't like that, but I honestly think he just goes in 2 seasons, get the reputation up, I'll move on.
Do you think he overachieved as well? And that's half of it. He's actually felt he's done more than he should have done, and now he's like, okay, I can't really get any further than that, so that's it. I might as well go on.
And if he's been lied to, if Paris turned around and said, last summer and said, yeah, okay, you won us 2 trophies, now's the time to kick on, best opportunity. Ollie, we're going to give you £150 million spend, and then change the goalposts and move them, then I understand it. And Steve Parish has to take responsibility as well. But Glasner's undoing, there should be a statue outside the stadium of him, after what that team achieved, etc. We've never won a trophy and you won 2 in 3 months. But he's not going to have a statue, and he's going to ruin everything that he achieved.
Legacy, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, legacy's gone, mate. Like, I to be honest.
Do you not think it'll dampen down in a few seasons' time when he has gone, and you look back and you think, actually, you know what, those were good times, and they deserve some recognition.
Depends how this season ends. We'll probably be 12th again, but who gives a doory? We won the FA Cup. That's the song that Palace fans sing. 12th again, who gives an F? We won the FA Cup. That's our level. Yeah, that's our level. But as in the performance on Sunday, poor, boring, backwards and sideways everywhere we go. That's pretty much it. But that is modern day football, backwards and sideways. It's going to take time to gel. But yeah, I'm obviously happy we won in the last minute. And we got United next.
Good finish, I thought.
Yeah. Villa fans don't rate him, but he's actually better as an impact player coming off the bench than he is playing from the start. He had a really good impact debut off the bench. Then they put him in the first 11, and he actually looked like a little boy lost. He's all right. It's Brennan Johnson for me. I know from your Spurs time, Chris, you were disappointed with him, and I think Palace fans are as well.
Oh, well, he was a brilliant impact player as well. And maybe some players are just like that. But he was good at doing that, come off the bench and fresh. And there is something about him. He's obviously a good player, a very good player to be a Premier League player. But at the same point, he just doesn't give you enough on the pitch. It's a bit like we were saying about Eze. Arteta doesn't like him, in my opinion, because he doesn't do what he tells him to do. The work rate isn't there. I don't think that's with Brennan Johnson as well. The amount of times he's just, and you see it in youth football as well, and rugby, players running back next to a player and not tackling them. Why would you do that? Just get in there, and when he does, it's ironic jeers, or was ironic jeers, because well done, you can actually tackle, or you can track back, and he doesn't do enough of that. Whether or not it's the fact that he's been told to hold his position and stay up further up, you just don't know sometimes, do you, regards to managers, what they actually tell him to do. But for me, he look great. Look back, and he was a top scorer for Spurs last season. Why would you sell the player? Well, there has to be something else wrong. If you just don't get rid of your top striker.
There's rumours this morning he's not happy at Palace. My mates have been texting me in our Palace group going, there's rumours that Johnson wants out already. He's not happy. I just think his confidence is shot, completely and utterly shot. Whatever happened at Spurs, or whatever happened in the first few weeks at Palace, he's a player that needs confidence, and he doesn't really do anything. I think we bought him expecting him to be exciting and pacey and a bit like a Wilfred Sahara of old, etc. But there's nothing there. There's just literally nothing.
YouTube clips look great, 100%. But he doesn't do that.
Mate, in 2011, I looked good on YouTube on my 5 side days. But,
no, let's not lie. No, it's one of those, mate. I think it's just I kind of knew that would kind of happen, but it's just coincided with Glasner. And at the end of the day, I think Glasner is the reason why you're struggling at the moment, just because it's obviously filtering through the team a little bit as well. Although you got the result, so yes, who cares against Wolves? Wolves actually been playing, as we said, against Arsenal, playing pretty good. So I think that you're in a good place. Another 1-0. Talking about 1-0s, Monday night we saw Everton lose against Manchester United. Jay, are you with us? You are, aren't you?
He's muted.
He's muted, yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Jay,
I'll remain muted while you talk about this game.
Oh, you did it on purpose. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Technical issue.
Yeah. What did I think to that game?
Not much.
First half, poor. I thought both teams were poor. Take the fan side out of it. I thought we were poor with our passing. They were poor with passing. No one held possession. And then if you wanted to be critical, take the fan side out of it. Everyone's like, we were pushing. We let a goal in with our left back on the left wing and our middle of midfielder crossing the ball in from the right wing. Then we go and let a goal in. It's understandable we're going to let a goal in. We was always going to let that goal in. That's always the way it was going to be, unfortunately. So,
how have you been doing at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, mate? Because I don't know if it's right, but I've noticed quite a lot of losses there. Are you stronger away rather than at home?
Yeah, a lot stronger away from home, mate. People said about the new stadium. They did a stat. I think our average last season was 1.34 points per home game. This season we're 1.28, so we're not miles away. Yeah. We were in a relegation scrap, yes, last season. I get that, and this season we're not, but we would be if it wasn't for the away games. But the way that we've conceded the last 2 goals is how we score goals away. We'll hold and hold and hold and hold, and then we'll go and catch them on a counter attack. And that's what happened yesterday. If you look at our Man United goal, yeah, it's a great passage of play. But as I said, our Braithwaite, who's playing left back, who isn't left back, is pretty much on the edge of the 6-yard box. Yeah. And Idris is crossing the ball from the right wing, and then we wonder why we let a goal in. That as a fan, they're like, go forward. But if you were there today, you'd go to Everton, watching that video back, you'd be like, very simple to see why we let a goal in on the counter attack. We pressed, we got in the moment of the game going forwards, and then made a silly mistake.
Who was the player that lost Sesko when he was sprinting through?
Tarkowski. Keane was trying to chase a boomer, or what his name is, Brian Abuma, and then Tarkowski was trying to chase Sesko, and it's like watching a security guard chasing the alcoholic out of Tesco's with a bottle of whiskey. Do you know what I mean? They never catch them. But
it was the angle. It was the angle they had on the camera.
And that's where O'Brien plays centre half. I wouldn't believe me last night, but O'Brien plays centre half. He actually probably catches both of them on his own. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Because we were playing so high, and we got undone loads of times when we didn't have O'Brien, Braithwaite, and we were playing with Tarks and Keane 2 seasons ago, centre half. You just had to get the ball on the floor and run at us. Idrissa is the reason why them two can play football together, because he screens them and stops people from running at them. Whereas, obviously, when he played that ball in last night, I think it was to Dewsbury Hall start with. He was on the right wing, Braithwaite was on the left forward position, and it was all going to shit. But
it's
we played Garner right back last night because O'Brien got sent off. We've got 2 right backs in the bench that don't play, which tells you everything you need to know about them or what Moyes thinks of them. And we missed him in the middle of midfield. So, a long trip to Newcastle, which we'll talk about shortly. But, that's football.
Well, you definitely need speed in the centre-back, don't you? You can't play with 2 similar players.
We need a left back, a centre back, a right back, a midfielder, a left winger, a right winger, and we need 13 centre forwards.
Let's move on to the league, mate. Man United obviously getting the result there as well, and that's pushed them into 4th. Well, secured them into 4th now as well. Let's look at the top of the league's got a familiar feel to it, hasn't it? Apart from Villa being a little bit higher than you would expect them usually. I wonder if Villa are going to drop a little bit.
Without blowing smoke up Spurs' arse, Spurs would have been in that mix with where Villa are now normally of seasons gone by. And that is the top 6.
Yeah.
That is the top 6 where Villa have now snuck into that place. And like your likes of Palace last year doing really well. But if you showed someone that top 6 now as just a brief football fan, they'd go, that's what I expected. Not maybe that order, but that's somewhere in that region. And you'd probably imagine that Spurs and Palace would be 7, 8, somewhere in there. Do you know what I mean? That's pretty much football as you see it, unfortunately.
I think this season in particular, you've got you have got a really competitive league. I know Wolves had a nightmare sort of start, and Burnley as well, not win anything, but they are competitive now. I mean, Burnley have always been competitive. We've always said that from the start. They've always got lost by 1 or 2 goals, and Wolves were the ones who were a bit of a whipping boys there. But with Europe thrown in as well, all the teams going further in European championships, UB Cups, etc., like they should do, because it shows how strong the league is. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if most of the teams who are in Europe do win something in Europe.
I think that'll take Europe down to Champions League. If they do well, take Champions League down to 5th. 6th will be Europa, and then 7th will be the conference, Europa Conference, whatever it's called. So, but we just said a minute ago that could be a poison chalice for Brentford, Bournemouth. Don't think Everton will do it anyway. Fulham, any of them that get in that 7th spot could be a poison chalice.
The only team
the one that you probably would imagine that would want it out of them, which is actually not on that screenshot there, is probably Newcastle.
Yeah, and Liverpool are the ones who seems to they want that, and they'll push in, I think, a little bit. And it'd be interesting to see what happens with Villa, because I think they've been a little bit inconsistent recently, and obviously got the draw recently as well. 3 points away from Man United now in 4th. It's going to be interesting the next couple of games, isn't there? Certainly. But Everton doing well, mate. To be fair, 37 points.
Yeah, it's just disappointing when the games like that, mate. But that is why we aren't where I'm not even going to mention them. Actually, I don't like them. That's why we're not where Chelsea are, because we let games go that we should probably be in more. And like I said, we dropped them silly points. But yeah, mate. As much as I'm grumpy about last night, we're in that. And no disrespect to you two, I've not seen us in the top half of that table at 27 games for 5 years. So, yeah, take it.
Well, top half's boring. Let's look at the board. The action's happening at the bottom. Still very tight. Still very close. Wolves on 10. Well, they're down. Burnley on 19. You've got West Ham on 25. Nottingham Forest on 27, and Spurs on 29.
Newcastle, the one that I just said a minute ago, they're the ones that are 2 points behind us, whatever it is, and they'll be the ones that want to push for that 7th spot to get some sort of European football.
Well, Palace are only 3 points behind, yeah. So
I don't know if Palace would want that, though.
I'm still looking below. I'm not looking up.
No.
I'm still looking at West Ham going, right, there's 10 points there. And as a Palace fan, I'm worried. But as you guys not being a Palace fan, if you were me now, looking at where West Ham are and Palace are, would you be concerned about relegation?
I'm going to make a statement. I reckon 3 more points, mate, and you're staying up.
That's what I think.
I think 38 keeps you up this year. In 3 more games' time, there's less than 10 games to go. You could say in a game there's 10 games to go, 10 years ago. But 3 more games for West Ham, Burnley, and Nottingham Forest, stop them. You'll know where, and I think you'll find you'll be safe before too long. You only need 1 more win. You've got to play Everton yet, mate. So there's a. Do you know what I mean?
You're our Burnley team. You know this.
And Spurs.
I'm not worried about Spurs.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, but we've got something to play for by the looks of it by then as well. So it'd be interesting to see what happens.
I think Forest were unlucky not to get a point, and I wanted them to get a point against Liverpool. But I think it's West Ham's next 2 or 3 games which are going to be important to know where, because as long as you match or better their result, Chris, you're actually going to be all right in 3 games' time.
Mate, look at our thing there. Lost, drawn, lost. This is shocking, isn't it?
Yeah,
it really is.
What would have been
interesting
is if West Ham had won that game against United. I think United scored in the last minute, didn't they?
Yeah,
that's right.
They'd be on 28 points, and that's 1 point away from Spurs.
Yeah,
there's little fine margins. That's mad. That would be really squeaky time for Spurs as a club.
Sesko scored, didn't he? To be fair.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I think this game against Fulham, the next match, is really important to try and get something from it. Ideally 3 points, anything, to be honest. But if we can get a result out of that, I think it goes a long way to pushing us further ahead. So I think Leeds are a good team. 2 points away from us. I'm in 15th, so be interesting. It will
You
be
look at the
interesting.
form, you look at those games, and you go up that far right channel, and you're like, right, who's on it? West Ham.
Yep.
West Ham. Out of that kind of bottom 5, 6, it's West Ham you got to watch out for.
Yeah, but then you look at Burnley as well. I mean, Burnley aren't going to get out of it, I don't think. But
No,
they're taking points away from people. They're taking points away from people.
Yeah, just more for pride, isn't it, for Burnley, I think. They're not going to get out of it. Not a chance. But West Ham, I think, are the ones to worry about.
Oh, yeah, 100%. For everybody, to be honest. And Forest, they've since they changed their manager, they've not had the best. But they have picked up one draw, I suppose. So we'll see.
4 managers this year.
You what?
They had 4 managers this year.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
It is crazy. It is, definitely. Oh, God.
Chris, sorry, just to hang on Spurs for a sec there, but who's your next 3 games, mate? Sorry, if you just told me that a minute ago, who's your next 3 games in a row for you?
We've got Fulham, and then...
Is that at home or away?
That's away.
It's away, that one. Yeah, it's away. Fulham, then we've got Palace at home on the 5th, and then we've got Liverpool away. And then we play Forest.
Oh.
So the Forest match is going to be important.
Those next 3 games, Jesus Christ.
Let's put it this way: where Spurs are playing, I'm going to put Palace in the mix as well, only because they are 6 points. You're fine, mate. You're fine. We're playing Palace. We're playing Forest. We're playing Wolves, and we're playing Leeds coming up.
I wouldn't want to play Leeds at the moment out of all them. I just
away,
Palace. I wouldn't want to play Leeds.
Nah, at home. Doesn't matter, mate, for us anyway. Doesn't matter. We, either way, we're not.
Here's West Ham's 4 games, which I suppose is the crucial part. West Ham have got, which we'll get to in a minute, but they're away at Liverpool on Saturday. Then they've got Fulham away. Then they've got, forget that's the FA Cup. Then they've got Man City at home and then Villa away. They aren't 4 easy games for West Ham.
No.
And if they don't get the points out of them 4 games, and you do get the odd draw here and there everywhere, you'll be, 4 games will take them to 31 with 7 to go. It's going to be,
Those next 3 games for Spurs, you've got to win 2 of them.
Yeah, so that's Fulham, and I can't see us beating Liverpool. So unfortunately, I have to say we've got to beat Fulham and Palace. To be honest, doubtful. I think we get 4 points out of those. Great. 4 points out of 3 games. We'll see.
4 points is a big step to the right direction, though, Chris. Which doesn't sound good for a Spurs fan. But if you said 35 points in 4 games' time, I think you'll be another 3 or 4 points from staying up. Then.
Yeah, we'll see.
You got us last game of the season, mate.
I know.
Oh,
happy days.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if it got down to that?
The scenes.
Oh, the scene on the podcast the following week. I'm definitely on that one.
I'll go up to that one. 24th of May. I can't go to that. It's my wedding anniversary.
London.
Football first. Priorities.
Football first.
Come on.
Shh.
She's not leaving here. Tottenham came first, remember? That's what I tell my
wife. That was on the 24th of May. Oh, really? Oh, nice. All right, okay. Guys, let's talk about property stuff. I'm just going to talk to you very briefly about new homes. I've been looking at new homes recently, just because there's a few developments around me. I like looking at show homes anyway, but just seeing what the standard is there and having chats with people as well, and looking from ourselves, maybe looking at sizing up, moving up. Quite interesting sort of things there as well. What do you think about the new homes market currently? I mean, it's always been a little bit price sensitive, of course it has. Do you think I can say where I am down here, I think that new homes are sticking a little bit. I think there's a lot of part exchange which are not doing part exchange now because they've got a big, I think in Cornwall they said there's something like £3 million worth of part exchanges there for one developer to sell and transact. It's really sensitive, isn't it, when you go out, especially if you are working as an agent who has this easy move scheme, etc. You're going out and pricing things in part exchanges as well, and you get it a little bit wrong on the pricing, or the market changes a little bit, or there's, like we have this year so far, a lots more competition. You've got lots more properties coming on, so suddenly your property that which you valued in November doesn't look quite as good against others. So it's an interesting time.
I don't think it matters whether it's new builds or second-hand resi. Like
No.
it's price. It's definitely the same as second-hand resi. It is price sensitive. There's a huge amount of choice, and it's the same in the new homes market. There's a lot of choice in Exeter. There's quite a few different developments over that period over there that are being built. So I think it's the same as second-hand resi. It's down to pricing. But I get it from a build perspective and what it costs, etc. But yeah.
You got end of year coming up, haven't you, as well? So up here in Lincolnshire, I went to see someone on Saturday, Sunday, can't remember which day it was, and they were trying to sell on a new build site, and they were saying, "Oh, Jamie, every time I get a viewing, they then go to the show home." And I said, "Yeah, you're selling the home, they're selling the business. That's the difference in it." So they will knock 15 grand off. You can't afford to knock 15 grand off. They go, "Would I rather have 225 in the bank or not have 240?" At this time of year, they probably go, "If we can complete it by April," which we all know is farcical, but we'll complete it by April, we'll have £15,000 less in the pot, but we'd rather have the money in the pot. Whereas a business selling the business or selling the home is slightly different, and that's what you're up against. And I think there's deals to be done with new builds at the moment.
Yeah, I've already seen pricing come down from like 325 for a 3/4 bedroom house down to sort of 309. So there's obviously scope there, and I think they would possibly do something on stamp duty as well on that as well. So it's quite an interesting pricing structure.
I think what would make a massive difference, and whether the government are looking at it or not, is another Help to Buy. Help to Buy 2.0. Like me and my wife, we did Help to Buy, and it saved us moving to a slightly bigger house to then move to another bigger house. Like we're 8 years into Help to Buy, and it was a huge
second home stamp duty. Can second home stamp duty for 6 months, 9 months. If you can't see that second home stamp duty hasn't created more first time buyers, you're off your rocker. This whole thing about second home stamp duty will stop people from having more than one home, which will then encourage first time buyers. It doesn't mean that. Does not mean that at all. One iota. Just because you're stopping someone buying a second home doesn't mean all of a sudden that a first time buyer's now got a deposit. If they haven't been saving for a deposit, they've not been saving for a deposit. The problem you've got is second home buyers aren't buying second homes because of stamp duty, which then basically means the average rent is going up in price. So if you were saving £200 a month to buy a house as a first time buyer while renting, your probably rent's got up £150 because there's less property. So for me to get new builds moving and to get Steve's idea is great. Another Help to Buy scheme is great, but for me to get the market to take the brakes off this market, can second home stamp duty for till the end of the year. But you always make a cliff edge. Can it forever if you can, but you're making a cliff edge. But yeah.
That Help to Buy was a godsend for us. It was brilliant. We didn't pay anything for the first 5 years, and when it kicked in, it was £100 on top of our mortgage. Now, by that point, the house had been bought at 342 off plan, and it then went up to 425. Now, yes, essentially, when I pay it back, I'm paying 85 grand back rather than £68,000 back. But we haven't moved twice, and we've lived there longer, building that equity.
And the reality is, mate, your cost of your move from your first house to that house would have cost you the difference between 85 and 68 or whatever it was. It probably, I know it might not have been quite that much, but you'd be in that sort of ballpark by the time you've renovated it, your moving costs. Yeah.
Well, we won't sell that. I'm looking at paying off the Help to Buy now because it's only going to go up every single year by a percent, etc.
Exactly.
But we lived there. The kids are growing up there. They've had stability and it was a really good quality new build. But the problem is with new builds is that people never go on social media and say, I bought a new build and it's absolutely fantastic. People will always go on there and go, oh, I've had this snag and that snag and blah, blah, blah. They always remember the bad. And, that's really unfair because there's some really, really good developers out there that offer a really good product. So, people aren't going to go on there and go, oh, I bought a new build. It's fantastic. So, I think they just need to look around.
What do you think about stamp duty? Because obviously, where you're saying it, Jay, as well, is it's been used as a tap on, tap off sort of scenario. There's been lots of talk about them actually. Do they need stamp duty? Can they replace it with something else? Obviously, they need the money coming in, the government. I don't know whether you have any thoughts on whether or not it could be replaced with anything else. Anyway, is there a better way of doing stamp duty?
I mean, selfishly to the property world, getting it away from the property world and putting it into something else is great. It is great. But what would you replace? I don't think you can replace it with anything else in the property section. It would be a taxing it somewhere else, wouldn't it? But farcical trying to tax, if they do change it and tax people on their main residence for an inheritance, capital gains tax will be, you're just creating commercial suicide. So they've got to be very, very careful. Just, yes, I don't like it, but it is there at the moment. To change it to something else, you've got to be very careful what you do to this. And you've both just said it in a different way. It's a very sensitive market on price, which comes down to the money, which comes down to the cost of moving, which comes down to everything. So to change it is a risk unless you are 100% going to promote it that it's a better move for the property market.
Do you think the actual stamp duty levels are correct currently where they are?
The money's not coming to me, mate. So for me, it's very hard to hit the whole of the UK with the same brush. So a 2-bed where I am is different to where you are, and certainly different to where London is. 500,000 here gets you your forever home. In London, it gets you a starter home. It's so to tax you the same way is harsh, but you pay for where you live. I understand that, but I would say from town to town it's different in Lincolnshire, let alone from county to county.
You get that here.
The country. So it's to tax everyone the same is hard, but is it right? I feel that I don't personally see where that money goes. So it's not being reinvested into anything better for the property market. So is it right? Don't know. Could they afford to lose that money? Definitely not. Could we afford to risk changing it for the worse again, like they have done with second home stamp duty? Because I'm probably a big advocate of this, but I think they've definitely got it wrong. Doesn't mean to summarise that, it doesn't mean charging more stamp duty to someone who wants to buy a second home enables more first-time buyers. That's simply that. It is simply that. And it's actually having a negative effect. If you look at Shelter and the stats they release, rent's becoming unaffordable. Well, come April, when they make it second home stamp duty and harder to take more control of your rental property, what's rent's going to do?
Yeah, and they're making the properties better quality, so ultimately there's more demand for better quality properties.
Any rule is complied by people that actually abide by rules, and that sounds crazy. Someone hasn't got a driving license and a car isn't insured, don't care if they're going 70 on a motorway, they'll drive 100 because they don't abide by the rules anyway.
That's
me
right.
That's driving 79 on a 70, I get fined. I get points on my license. I get that. That affects me because I abide by having a driving license, having insurance, having a car that's road league worthy. It's the same with these with rogue landlords they're trying to eradicate. They'll still be rogue landlords because they don't abide by the rules anyway.
Well, this is a thing, mate, isn't it?
There's a rental property. You won't know if it's. You'll know that I'm not mentioning my name. John Smith has 30 houses that are all main residents.
Isn't it annoying?
Landlord. It's just it affects the people that abide by the rules anyway. So it's And who's going? I think Steve mentioned it before about lots of things. Who actually is going to govern it? Who's going to govern these things? Yeah,
it's policing in the best sense of the word. I mean, the annoying thing is when you see people getting banned for driving, they didn't have a license anyway. Why are you banning them? It's crazy. I just don't get that.
They all of a sudden go, "Oh, you've banned me from driving something I can't do anyway. I'm going to stop doing it." They'll just jump in the next TSI Nova and drive round. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Other cars are available.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? It affects people that abide by the law and rules. That's what I say about anything.
Mate, you've shown your age there. GSI Nova GTE.
Driving like a joyrider is what I think.
Lowered.
If you've listened to the streets, there we go. Put down your aerial. Mate, I had a Saxo. T433LJV. I had a VTS Everton blue colour one.
Oh, the blue one. The blue one was the best one. Definitely.
The fastest car I've ever driven hasn't got any brakes. You learn how to drive one of them when you're 18.
I had a 205 GTI. That was nice.
Yeah, nice car.
But my brother had I only had a 1.6, but my brother had a 1.9 mint green. Oh, it was well overpowered for the actual weight of the car. It was crazy, it really was. Those are the days. Yeah. So in summary, they should just do some regards to just an incentive to. I mean, second home market, like you said. I mean, obviously, I do valuations, or not. I'm not in the property estate agency industry as such, but the valuations I see, people who are trying to get properties sold, which are on the market for 600, 700, for instance, especially in the country, laying dormant and empty because there are maybe probate properties as well. That market is like flat, in my opinion, and a lot of it is because they've been told a price to start off with, over valuations again. Steve, don't get carried away. It comes down to that. Comes down to that today. And it overflates the home market, and then there's no incentive for people to buy it, and they can't do it at second homes anyway. So it's killed.
I had 3 phone calls yesterday, which were from what I call single property landlords. They've had maybe left some money or been left a property they've been letting out. They all want to sell the houses because they are petrified of what happens in April. So I think you're killing the single 1 or 2 property landlord. You are going to absolutely obliterate that market and it will go back to being kingpins of people that have got houses, the ones that have got 30, 40, 50, 100. And
but
they want to do it.
They don't want accidental landlords. They don't want that. They want professional companies looking after properties. They don't want people just doing it and doing all the maintenance on the property. They don't want that anymore. So that's why.
Let me tell you though, some of the accidental landlords probably maintain their houses the best.
Of course they do. Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen to the estate agents though that are reliant on their letting side of the business, paying for their outgoings if they haven't got a really good sales pipeline? Hey? What's that?
Yeah, it's
that's the worry.
You always hear, obviously, as you all know, I've started a estate agency, blah 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 blah, and people are like, you've got no value in your properties, Jamie, because you don't do lettings. I'm like, well, who said I'm building anything to sell it? I'm not at the end of the day. And
I don't do lettings, as you know.
And I think that yes, there's longevity in life, and we know that. But for me, it'd be interesting what happens, not maybe straight away, but in a year's time, to letting agents that solely, like you've said, survive on lettings or have always had a value of 2.5 times whatever the value of their lettings company. It'd be interesting April 2027 where we all sit and what we look at. Is it such, and again, I hope for lettings agents that they all they increase their fees like we want to in resi sales to make it a worthwhile proposition for them. So I imagine by then there'll be some agents going at 10%.
I'd be worried.
This isn't going to be all right for me.
I think the problem with it is that most letting agents who do management in particular will have their own portfolios, so they're landlords themselves, and it makes sense for them to look after their own and manage their own property stock because it's obviously cheaper than giving money away as such. So if in that effect, great, it probably works. But the people who haven't got their own portfolio and they're just literally a letting agent, whereas years ago, like you rightly said, Jay, it used to be, you get a lettings arm, that's just good for cash flow. Well, it was. I don't necessarily think that's the case now.
Be interesting to get a lettings agent, solely letting agent on here actually to see what their perspective, and hopefully they'll be talk. I'm not saying we're not smashing letting agents. They'll talk it up, and there'll be ways around revenue when you couldn't charge this. They changed it to that, and be interesting to see what their thoughts are going forward.
100%. Letting agents, we want to hear from you and get your point of view. Right, let's have a look at the matches coming up. Jay, over to you, buddy.
The Friday night football, which is a Midlands derby in up my neck of the woods, closer to me than it's you guys, but Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Aston Villa, 8:00 in the pub from 4:30. Few beddings straight over to there.
Controversial. Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Aston Villa 1.
That will kill Villa's season. To be fair, that will cement United in that fourth. To be fair, but yes.
Could be
that's an interesting one. Yeah, I'm going to go opposite to you two. Actually, I'm going to go Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Aston Villa 2.
Nice.
And then we roll on to Saturday, which is Bournemouth versus Sunderland. If there's a game that's got 1-1 Bourfest written all over it, that's the one.
I think Bournemouth are going to continue their recent okay run, and Sunderland will continue their recent not so good run. And I think it's going to be Bournemouth winning that one 2-0.
And this is not a slander against Bournemouth or Sunderland because they're in and around where my team is and your teams are. But who sat there in their not so ivory tower of Sky or TNT or whatever and went, I'll tell you what game I'm going to pick for a 12:30 thriller on Saturday is AFC Bournemouth versus Sunderland.
Yeah. If there's a reason to go out shopping with the wife, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And then Burnley-Brentford. Let's see, because Chris always gets Brentford. Well, he was up until recently. He was a secret Brentford fan. So we're going to see what he says on this one. Burnley-Brentford.
1-1.
1-0 Burnley.
I was going to say 1-0 Burnley as well. Controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Liverpool versus West Ham. I'm going to go Liverpool 1, West Ham 4.
At Liverpool.
At Liverpool. Yeah. No, I'll be serious. I'm going to go Liverpool 1, West Ham 3.
What colour glasses are you wearing, mate?
Liverpool.
You boys want that. You don't. You're manifesting, you two, aren't you? You're manifesting that lot.
I think it's going to be 3-1 to Liverpool. I can't see West Ham getting it. I mean, it could be wrong, but hey.
And then we're off to the tune for Everton. Well, Newcastle versus Everton.
Jay, let me stop you there. Were you serious with your 2-1 to West Ham or 3-1 to West Ham?
3-1.
Wow, okay.
He won't say Liverpool win, will he? He can't do it. I bet you don't wear red either, like a t-shirt that's red.
I have nothing red.
No, my mate's like that. He's a Spurs fan. He won't wear anything that's got red in it. I've got a lot of blue stuff, and that's Brighton. So.
My son goes to school and they had a non-uniform day where every year had to wear a different colour. And his year group got given red. And my missus is like, this is stupid. You've caused this problem. I'm like, stand by it. He's like, I ain't wearing red, Dad. I'm like, stand by that. Don't do it.
I think you fathered well. I think it's great.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
That's Dad's skills. Well done.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I'm not wearing red. But you don't own it anyway, so there we go. But yes, so
I doff my hat to you, so.
Yeah. He's got a cough today. Can't come in.
Yeah. He went in and wore blue, I think. But there we go. I was just saying, telling me colourblind. Newcastle versus Everton. I have a bad feeling about this one. We're both coming off the back of losses. We beat them there 1-0 last season. I've got a funny feeling we're going to lose 1-0, unfortunately.
2-1 Newcastle.
And I was going to say 2-1 as well. Yeah, Newcastle, sorry. Just to...
In true Everton form, I'm going to go 1-1.
You can't say anything about Liverpool winning. You can't say anything about Everton losing.
You can't say your own team lose, can you? To be fair, you just can't do it.
Well, you can.
What's it you tell me, Chris, every week? The hope is what kills you, isn't it? Is that something like that? Mate. You told me?
Yeah, I've got it tattooed, yeah.
And then the 5:30 thriller is Leeds United versus Man City. Leeds at home, that is not going to be easy for Man City.
Well, I think they might get something out of this. They might get something out of this.
You hand it out to the red team then if they do, mate.
Well, I don't want them to. I think Man City, they've been pretty good recently. But I think it might be a Desmond Tutu.
1-1.
3-1 City.
Oof, I like it. Gone for it.
Bulls, yeah.
And then Sunday, here's the day we've all been waiting for. If you've ever wanted Brighton to win more than this, Steve Green, this is the one for you. Brighton and Hove Albion at home to Nottingham Forest.
I want to draw, so I'm going 1-1.
I want a win for Brighton, so I'm going for a 2-1 win.
I think Forest are going to edge this 2-1.
Deep breaths for the next match.
Yeah. Then
2-1 Fulham.
I haven't said a word yet. The Cottagers, they go to the Cottage for Fulham versus Tottenham Hotspur. If there's a team that you can beat, Chris, you must be thinking you're going to beat Fulham.
Mate, I watched Fulham at Spurs, didn't I? And it was absolutely shocking. And I don't think I wouldn't guarantee us would beat anybody. I think our under 18s and 21s could probably beat our first team currently. But in saying that,
we won there, Steve. So I wouldn't say they're decent. We won there.
I'm going to I'm going to go for a 3-2.
What, Spurs?
Yes. There we go.
There we go.
Solanke's back. He's not ill.
Oh, great.
Good.
Fulham
The good thing is Brendan
Spurs
Johnson's
1.
not playing.
Well, true.
I'm going to go for my
That's right,
usual. I'm
man.
going to go for a Desmond
2-2.
2-2.
Yeah, Fulham at home. Harry Wilson, 25-yard curler, 87th minute, 2-1.
Oh.
Sorry, Chris.
And then we roll on to the next 2 o'clock game, which is
2-1 Man United
versus Crystal Palace.
Touche. I'll give you that one.
Brennan Johnson winner.
He's not even playing, is he?
Yeah, he's on the bench. Yeah, he's on the bench. We're not getting anything out of
bench.
this. United will win it, and they'll win it 2-0, if not more.
Oof.
I wouldn't be surprised if
They
it's
ain't that
3-0,
good. They ain't that good.
But we ain't
I ain't buying
that
that.
good. And they're better than us. Yeah.
I'm going to go for draw. I'm going to be optimistic for you. 1-1.
I think with Man United, the thing that really lets them down is the overall defence in particular. And obviously, they haven't got a worldie in midfield. I think that actually going forward, they're okay. It's kind of battle of the attacking teams, I guess.
We'll just do what Tarkovsky did last night and batter him at every corner.
Yeah.
That's all he did, Tarkovsky, last night. Batter.
And then ran backwards slowly when they scored. Very slowly,
Well,
in fact. But yeah.
What is he, like 39 now?
Yeah, he's been here a while.
And then
Arsenal, Chelsea. Ooh.
I'm calling this that if City don't beat Leeds on Saturday afternoon and Arsenal beat Chelsea, that's the momentum they need. That Chris, you won't know here, but that's the momentum they need.
No, I got, hold my hands up. I've always said they're a better team. I've always said it quite a few podcasts ago. It was
Because
theirs
in
to
5
lose.
points at the moment, it's 2 points if City win their game in hand. But if City don't beat Leeds and Arsenal beat Chelsea, that's a statement.
If Man City win, I've got a feeling this is going to be a 1-1 or something like that.
Yeah, probably not wrong, to be fair. It
gonna
should
be-
be a cracker, but neither team want to lose it, do they?
It'd be a Desmond.
Oh, I like that.
2-2.
I'm going to go 1-1. I'm going to go Chris's camp with that one.
So that'd be 3 points between the top two then, if that happens. If City win and Arsenal draw, 3 points.
Yeah, and they've got to play each other.
Yeah, game in hand for City.
City win, Arsenal draw 62. Yeah, 59.
59, and they've got a game in hand. They'll still have a game in hand.
Yeah.
They'll be actually equal.
But Man U, if Villa lose, they could be up to third. Jesus Christ. How has that happened? Well, well done to them. Well done to them.
No, not well.
What
I
can you
hate
say?
United. I hate United as much as I do Brighton.
Strong, Steve. I like that. Strong statements.
Oh,
I like
I
that.
hate them. I hate them.
Steve only wears black now, and he doesn't wear red, blue, yellow.
It's like
Mate, what a game that is for you on the weekend, though.
Yeah.
Might surprise you, Steve. You might go beat them.
We won't, boys. We won't. Not when we play, we won't.
Stranger things happen, haven't they? And that's the beauty of football, isn't it? At the end of the day, you never know who's going to win or lose.
I'm trying to think of a bet then. Like, if Palace win, I might wear something at the next podcast.
If Palace win, you've got to get Brennan tattooed on you in that sleeve somewhere.
No.
No, that's not worth anything, mate,
No.
is it? Come on.
You got to have the initials. You got to have the initials BJ tattooed on that, in that sleeve. somewhere.
Now that could be more relevant.
BJ, you got just in the middle of that sleeve. I just need a B and a J.
Oh, is that initials of your kid? No.
Well, I could put 2 words in front of that. I love. And a particular place on the body.
Yeah.
The old lads' holiday.
Bush.
Nice. All right, guys, that's round it up. We've got all busy days ahead. Thanks for listening to Property Premier League. I've been your host, Chris Mervyn, ably assisted by Jamie Aspland and Steve Green. Thanks, guys. Good to have the team back. We'll be back next week with more insights and debates from the world of property and the beautiful game. They think it's all over. Well, you know